residential school that Bronwyn's relatives were in, St. Mary's, was run by the Missionary Oblates of Mary Immaculate, which operated 9 other residential schools in BC, and that's the same as the Catholic order that ran the Kamloops residential school. And just like Kamloops, it was also staffed by the Sisters of St. Anne.
So clearly there are documents with those 2 Catholic orders. Have they released their documents as they relate to residential schools?
Well, they've released some. So in 2019, Mary Immaculate donated their records to the Royal Museum of BC. Staff at the museum worked with the Kamloops District Potluck to help.
Heading to Golden and going to continue our conversation about COVID-19. And we'll talk to a man in Golden who is a long hauler. He was as healthy as he's
and he said that knowing what pitch was coming made it so exponentially easier to do that difficult feat of hitting the baseball, and he had unbelievable stats against the best pitchers in the game.
I want to play one of the most famous moments in baseball history for you.
Man, we're so grateful for the firefighters and the response from BC Forest Service and the Oliver and Oswego Fire Department. And those guys they're professionals and they do their job.
And Chief Louis, what will you be watching for over the coming days when it comes to this wildfire?
Well, of course, there's a lot of mop-up to do, but
some of your photos these days are obviously digitally kept. But there may be memory cards and memory sticks.
There's not so many jobs here, very few in actual fact, so people are on very limited incomes. I know
that's the radio.
Things still looking good on the road? Things are still looking good on the roads, no major events. So, yeah, no news is good news, as we like to say.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, my friend. If you do see anything on the roads, as always, we're always happy to get the word out if you want to let us know, and it's safe to do so. Our email address is radiowest@cbc.ca.
If you're not, I have to put this off a little while longer, then we have to do what we feel is right. Health decisions, I mean, when it comes down to it, we're going to find a way. We want to make sure that we meet all our needs, but survival, and that's what, this COVID...
In the province, and the country, obviously. Blue River sitting at 40 degrees, 43 in Merritt, it's 41 in Lillooet, Salmon Arms at 40. For the Kootenays and
conditions in the Kamloops Fire Center region. So it's just a nice reminder to everyone that while we're experiencing this really hot weather and dry weather...
Salmon Arms sitting at 29, Cranbrook partly cloudy and 27, Nelson 31, Castlegar partly...
Top priorities as COVID case counts fall and vaccination rates rise.
We should facilitate a safe reopening of the U.S. border as soon as we reasonably can.
Kenney says early July is his target when it comes to easing restrictions at that border. BC Premier John Horgan says he's in discussions with the federal government over the issue. He says there should be different rules for different countries.
I think we all agree that there are some parts of the world that are further advanced than others in terms of...
Here today. And that's for Friday's game, which is the first one on home ice for the Canadians in the series. Now, if you want better seats, well, some are available, a few rows up from the blue line. But that'll cost you more than $30,000 each. You gotta buy 2. For that amount of money, $60,000, you could buy...
Had consensual sex and the woman made no indication she did not want to engage in it. He is asking for the lawsuit to be dismissed and for the court to award him special costs. None of the allegations have been tested in court. A Surrey Rap and Bhangra performer who goes by the name of Jack.
Apricots in my fruit trees and then my other crops. So I'm right in the middle of a early harvest of peaches and apricots and cucumbers and stuff like that. And
but you talk, like you said, it has been 2 years and you're still waiting for a true action plan from the federal government. What are your thoughts, what are your feelings about how the federal government has responded since the release of...
Will not have to undergo the 14-day mandatory quarantine. Health Minister Patty Hajdu says this is the first step in the gradual lifting of border restrictions, and it will begin in early July.